Hey everybody, it's Vita Plastica and it's time for a little wine and Dollies. I'm going mason jar style because it's technically still daylight and I spill things. So I've decided a mason jar is the best thing to do because then if I don't finish, I can just put a little cap on it and it'll be fine. So we have a lot to cover. Let's get started and talk about the newest addition to the family. This is a doll. Uh-oh, see? My eyes like doing this twitching thing. Can you see it? Oh, that's so weird. Sometimes it happens when I've had too much wine, or maybe I'm a little dehydrated. Anyway, this is a Doll's Own Shoyo on the old body. She came to me as a gift, and I dyed her with Rit dye, and it's pretty good, although I'm going to... I call her a she, but Doll's Own Shoyo is a she, but this doll is genderless, gender neutral, maybe. So we're going to cut off the bosoms at some point, but I am a little scared. So it's something I definitely think is necessary because they're bigger than I would like. If they were a little smaller, I could probably ignore them, but they're very boobalicious. So, but I wanted to tell you that we have a new name, and you would have seen it on Instagram already, but this is Tequi. Tequi, this is something I've been interested in, and I would love, maybe I'll do a tag one day, but names and how we get them, it's always kind of a fun process for me, so I'd like to know how other people do it. Sometimes you guys do videos on how a certain doll got a certain name, but I would love to hear your thought process when you're naming dolls. So I was looking at, okay, well first let me tell you about the legends because I wrote down all of the right names for everything. So basically there are tribes around New England, especially the Abenaki, and they have a legend of the Manogmasak, something like that. It's a swamp creature. They're as thin as an axe blade, and they travel in stone canoes, and they just sink out of sight whenever a human is looking their way. You should stay away from things that are like, they make geometric marks on rocks and stone sculptures of people or animals. And they have, the geometric marks usually indicate like where their dwelling is, and they basically stay away from humans, and humans should stay away from those dwellings. So I thought it might be nice to, like when I make my swamp, either have a little dwelling, maybe one that's open from the back, so you might be able to see Tequi peeking out, but not exactly big enough to walk around in or anything. When I eventually build the swamp, which should be coming towards the end of the year, I'm excited about it, but I want to take my time and get a lot of other diorama projects out of the way first. It's going to take a lot of resin, and it's going to end up being pretty heavy. I want it to be as long as this section, so this is about 4 feet long, this dirt ground thing that I have here. So I wanted at least that big, but I would love to make little like, if I find like little stone or like crystal sculptures of animals, I've seen those, like even some beads will be convincing. And I would love to make, like stacked rocks. I like those, and I think it would be neat to have one of those. Although I'm not sure really what culture that is most prevalent with. I think everyone does it now, like hippies and hipsters and stuff. Anyway, Tequi. So I want to tell you how I got Tequi's name. So I was looking at a lot of Abenaki websites for their language, and there's one that's great that has pronunciations and everything, little sound bites or sound clips, and the one that I got this from doesn't, so I don't know how I'm pronouncing the name. Tequi could be different. It could be like my Tequi, like a little pause, like Hawaii, like there's a pause where there's an X, because it's T-E-K-W-X apostrophe I, and sometimes that apostrophe has like a pause. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so I was looking up some names for like naturey things that would make sense. So I found Tequ, Tekwu, 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 means river. And Koateku is pine river, right? Now, koa means small pine, or koas means small pine. Koasi is of the small pine. So I figured if it was tekwi, it would be like of the river. And I might be totally wrong, but I just kind of followed what the grammar, how it was going. But who knows what other aspects I'm missing out on. I'm not a linguist. I do not know. So that's how tekwi got the name. And they have been getting along really well. They both look very happy and satisfied. And these are Nasiri's eyes, but I love the way they look. There's just something so kind about them. Where the orange eyes I had in for a while looked a little too sinister. I want Tekri to be a sweet little soul because that's what I feel from this doll. So they are getting along really well. I think I need to improve this wig. I wanted it to be different lengths and sort of haphazard, but the shine and the quality of it doesn't match up, so you don't believe it. Actually, I might just put her old wig back on since it's not being used by anyone. So what else do we have to talk about? I bought a bunch of things from Wish. I'm so sorry. I bought a bunch of things from Wish, and I didn't know, I mean, I should have figured, it would have made sense, that they are all from different sellers. So I bought a million things. See, I feel like, I don't know, that could still work. Is it too matchy-matchy? Yeah, I feel like she changed once Tekri got here, and she got a little fancier. A little more like maybe a slightly wealthier girl that got lost, but she's like a lady. She can still climb trees and wrestle alligators and stuff, but she's a lady. Now, I have not re-sueded Tekwi since, this wig needs some help too. I haven't restrung or, well, obviously I did restring after the dyeing, but I haven't re-sueded her because, or them, because I want to dye them again, so why waste? Why waste the stuff you got to take off anyway? Okay, where else are we? Okay, so you might have seen on Instagram that I've been really bored with Oren. Forgot her name already. The snake goddess, the Dal Chateau Alma. I was really bored with her. She was just a snake goddess, and I made her this throne, and I liked the throne, but she wasn't connecting with me, and I was thinking about selling her, but I wasn't really sure. But then I decided I really wanted a witch character, and I wanted her to be SD because there's so many cool SD props out there for witches. So I was actually going to sell her so that I could get an SD, or, you know, begin like a payment with for an SD, or savings for an SD. When I could have just tried a little harder. So I was watching Crocodile Tears' video where he's just re-characterized. Is there like a word for that? When you come up with a new character for a body? Hey, I've got a lock of hair here. Anyway, so he came up with a new character for his doll, and I was like, maybe that's what I need to do, because the other basic things that you do to connect with a doll, get their face up done, get it, you know, maybe a backstory going, and a wig, and some eyes. I got her all that stuff, except for the story, because she was boring. But that didn't work. So this was a great solution, to just have my Dal Chateau Alma as my witch character. By the way, another one of her fingers fell off, so now we have 2 middle fingers and an index finger that have popped off, and I'm not happy. I really want to just get her some other non-articulated fingers. I mean, hands that don't have the wiggle fingers. But as a witch, they're also spooky and cool, because she's like going to be a storybook witch, not... She's going to be a little supernatural, a little natural, and not totally unevil. We'll just leave it at that. She'll kidnap your children, but she won't eat them. She'll just enslave them forever. You know, she's sweet. Humanitarian. Okay, where are we? So my friend, It's Muff. Hey, It's Muff. Went to Target and did a little video there. She's like a Barbie friend, and she found these lanterns at Walmart for $2. They're all plastic, and I was so excited because you see there's like a little light bulb type thing in there, right? It's an illusion. There is nothing. It is totally empty and hollow. So if you're a member of my diorama group on Facebook, you saw that I cracked one open, and I kind of messed this one up, so I've got to fix it really quick. So I opened it up, basically. You know those desk lamps that everybody has from like the dollar store with the adjustable neck thing? Well, one of mine was missing the funnel piece. I don't know what you call it. Like the dish, you know what I mean? So I took it apart and I just saved the light mechanism with the button thing. So what I had to do was, there's like no path into the glass from the red portion. You know, it was totally closed off. So there's like a little nub that holds the, see how it's like a little crack there from where I took it off. Yeah, there's a little nub there, so you just have to cut that off. I used a button shank remover. Whatever you use to combat plastic, you can probably use. So it fit in there perfectly. Although a friend did suggest in my diorama group I could just like get some LEDs and get a battery and make my own little light, which seems like something that would be more logical. But this is what I had, and so I wanted to play. And that works fine, but I do have to cut away more at the bottom because there's like, where am I? This extra sort of level. There's a button and then the thing around it, and the thing around it is causing this gapping. So it just needs to be cut down a little bit. But $2, so if it's okay with your conscience to shop at Walmart, have at it. Speaking of Walmart, I also picked this up there, this shopping cart, and I really am not sure if I talked about this on video before, but I guess I'm doing it again. I really wanted to rust it up for the Luna Noir photo story, Black Moon, and so I just soaked it in salty water for like 2 weeks, but that didn't work, so I almost doubled the salt, and it was great. It worked in like a week. Now, I also had those jerry cans, those stainless steel like flasks that look like jerry cans. They did not rust in either of the solutions, so there are some complicated things you can do with sulfuric acid. It's not my bag, man. And then I could always just like paint it, but I decided to do something different. My friend, who is a non-doll person, but kind of a crafty gal, told me to bury them. So I got a thing of potting soil, and I moistened it a lot and buried them, and they've been there for a week, so we'll see how they are next week, maybe. Okay, what else do we have on the list? Oh, so I've been working on the brick wall for the first scene in the Luna Noir photo story. Came out pretty good. I used a scalpel. This is polystyrene. It's like the purple stuff. I think it also comes in blue. This is like the insulation for your home. You get like get it at Home Depot or whatever, Lowe's. So I kind of cut around it and roughed them up a little bit. I whacked it a lot with this chain belt that I had. And I was thinking, I was just like testing out some paint colors here, but I think I'm going to keep it gray, and I'm going to do like a watered down black wash over it to make it kind of dirty, but make it look as if it's painted brick. I mean, painted brick does exist, and for the scene, it makes sense. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm lazy, so that's pretty much the real reason. Oh my god, I didn't finish talking about my poor DC Alma. Yeah, her fingers. I probably have to go restring them after this video is done, because now she's a brand new person. So I decided that she was going to be my witch, and I'm just going to not shell out dough for another SD doll. Not right now, anyway. Plus, I do have witchy things, and they're not all SD scale, so it was perfect that I could still use her. Because Calyx, the fairy, had a lot of the witchy props. So there's still some things that'll work for SD that are sort of, you know, 1/4, 1/6 type scale. Anyway, so I was talking to my friend Bjarni, who is Sock Faces on Instagram, and she is Faceless Humanoid on YouTube. Sorry. And burpy. Had some Cuban food. It was good. Right, so she and I talked for like, I don't know, an hour or two. It was all throughout the whole debate, the last debate, presidential debate. And we talked for hours. I think it could have been an hour because I was also doing this experiment with this thing and I had a lot going on at once. But she was so nice and helpful with me and helping me brainstorm a name for this DC Alma, formerly known as Oren. So I wanted, you know, a witchy name that's weird enough to be witchy without completely stealing from like a Harry Potter or using something like, you know, Esmeralda or Tabitha, whatever. Samantha wasn't such a witchy name now that I think about it. And Dora. Anyway, so I knew her last name was Seagraves. That was the last name of this boy in high school. And I was like fully into my goth thing. I was like, oh my God, your name, it's so awesome. And so I took it as my own when I became a pen pal. That was a big thing all the goth kids that did then. I had pen pals. That was fun. Anyway, before internet, obviously. Can you imagine? How did I even find these people? We used to have these books. Oh my God, I'm just remembering now. Okay, so, I hope I have one that I could show you guys. But it was just like a book made of just like, you know, different pieces of paper, maybe like 8 by 5 by 6, 3 by 5, something like that. And it could be whatever size you want. So you would have a page and you would decorate it and it would be like your thing, exactly what this, basically you would put, all right, something like mine would have had like leopard skin tissue paper surrounded by like silver glitter puffy paint, and I would write all the names of my favorite bands and my address. And if that appealed to someone, they would write to you. And so that's how you found pen pals. I totally forgot about that until just now. I haven't even thought about that since I was like 14, 15. That was great. Anyway, introducing Madame Seagraves. So Bjarni helped me figure out a name for her, and also figure out that she doesn't really like the name very much, so she would appreciate just being called Madame Seagraves. And I don't know what she's doing with her fingers. I did not. Alright, I did do that, but I didn't mean for it to be anything. Maybe she's all, which is offensive in some countries. Anyway, Coriander Seagraves, and I can't wait to get to know her more and play with her more, and the tarot set that Libby gave me is perfect. So we'll take some pictures now that I finally told my viewing public who she is. I mean, Instagram will probably see this before you see that, before you see this, but I just wanted to do a video and let everybody else know. So I used that wig that I was going to, the wig hair that I was going to use for Aniata, but I realized it's not a lot of hair, and she has full-on, like, you can't really see, it was like flat glue spots. So to make Aniata's wig, I'm going to need like a good 2 or 3 of these. Oops. She makes me so happy now. I love her. She's got a story. She's kind of badass, and she works really well with her props. Now I just have to make her a broom and get her a proper cauldron, and I can't wait to spoil her and get her lots of witchy things. Is it really about the props? Is that what it is? Did I not connect with the snake goddess because there's nothing more for me to buy her except for clothes? Something to think about. Anyway, what are we up to now? Dollar store, dollar store. So Wish. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Wish, not knowing it was all coming in separate packages. So I ordered 2 keychains, handcuffs, that will come in handy in the story. And there's a little, like, canteen. Here it is. I'm sorry, everything is everywhere right now. Oops. This is a perfect little canteen. Like, if you take off the lid, it looks better. Like, the mouth is a good size for MSDs. I guess I could just show you. Well, with the big thing on, it's just a little awkward. So, what else did I get? I got some wine bottles that ended up being better for Barbies and stuff. By the way, there will be a Barbie video coming so that we can talk about that. What else we got? Do year of. Okay, but first, I did an awesome trade with Oscillate Wildly, or Sister from Another Planet on Instagram, and she gave me so much friggin' amazing stuff that I would have to do a whole 20-minute video to show you everything. But here are some highlights. This beautiful leather book with blank pages inside. I am going to make a big spell book for Miss Seagraves, Madame Seagraves. You don't have to be married to be a madam, right? Like, if you're in France, you do, but not anywhere else, right? If I called you madam, does that mean that you're, like, an older woman or married? I'm not sure about that. Anyway, sorry. So, Trudy did not know, really, about the photo story that I'm working on. But she just gave me stuff that just works so well. So, first of all, I have another one of these. I took the lid off, and now it is Madame Seagraves. I'm just going to call her Coriander because it's just so easy, and I like coriander. She's got one, so it's her Ouija board. This beautiful backpack. Beer salt? Beer salt? What do you do with this? What is it made of beer? Does it go in beer? How does this work? How does beer salt work? Anyway, it's a prop that's good for, like, SD size, but what is beer salt? I need for somebody to tell me this because it's like I want to open it, but it's, the wrapper is what makes it look realistic because I just want to taste it. Like, what are you, beer salt? What are you? She gave me, hello, frickin' articulated hands. I mean, hands with articulated fingers. Isn't this amazing? Too washed out. They're very, very white, but they are perfect for Dash Corbani, so I'm going to have to somehow pull a Sighthound lady and paint these to match him. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. But they're so pretty. I could just, like, sketch them. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a good artist, exactly. I'm not a particularly good artist. Look at this. This, frickin' door plate thingy with the crystal handle. Like, I have to build a whole house just for this. Do you think it would work with this girl? Yeah. I think it will. I'm going to totally work with that. Okay, what else do we have? We have, like, a little things from, one of those, like, American Girl doll style dolls. American Girl doll. You know what I mean. Backpack, I think this is from Wish. I just ordered another one for my little girl coming. That's like blue with flowers or something. And this backpack that has the arm straps. We've got some bunting. I mean, there's a pillow. Oh, the best part are like a million different gears. And I'm definitely going to be using some of those for the motorcycle. But I'm not going to go overboard because steampunk's not my thing. And it will show. It will show. Here's a watering can. I mean, look at this one. Oh, I love that. It's a little bird skull pendant. So cute. And a few of these, like 4 of these faucet doohickeys. Like, I didn't even need a faucet, but now I have to have one. Just like a public little like thing. You know what I mean? Faucet coming out of the ground. I don't know. They have them. I don't know what they're for or where they should be. Gas stations. Anyway, a million things. And the best part is she just threw in some, like, random stuff. Like, just a metal rod. Because she knows that I'm going to use this rod. I don't know what for yet, but maybe for the frickin' outdoor faucet. Who knows? You know, like sticking out of the ground, then we could have our spigot. Okay, so, I'm on 25 minutes. Sorry, guys.